What is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new 3v3 locals feature match. Here we have team, I think it was Beetrooper formation, something like that on the left, and I can't remember what the team name was on the right, but we have none other than Big Killer Jeff, the Dino Overlord himself, playing Dino since the beginning of time, and will probably continue to play it forever. I respect the dedication. But we have Beetrooper here on the left, deck we haven't seen on the channel in quite some time. Going into the Beetrooper Armor Horn and the Pico Falania, discarding 2 equip from deck, grabbing the Resonance Insect as is standard. We'll see him go link 4 into the Invincible Atlas. And then we'll also see the Graveyard effect of Resonance Insect. Add a level 5 or higher insect from the deck to the hand. Gonna grab the Sting Lancer and then summon out the Arbalest, a Battle Wasp monster. We're gonna see the Invincible Atlas tributed off to go ahead and summon out the Sting Lancer. And it'll be able to add a Beetrooper spell or trap, which is gonna search the Fly and Sting, which is a counter trap. Monster Negate, I believe, counter trap, and has an extra Sting Lancer in hand to act as a bit of a DD Crow on the opponent's turn. So that is pretty much the end board, but also Invincible Atlas has a little bit of protection. I think while this Link Summon card has 3,000 or less attack, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So pretty strong card. But we're going to see our Dino player lead with a copy of Lightning Sword, trading a 1-for-1 with the back row there, just basically MST. But it will clear a Monster Negate. But Fly and Sting can, I believe, reset itself to the field. We're going to see him normal summon the Soul Eating Oviraptor, activating its effect here. And I imagine this will go through. I don't think there's any interruptions. I mean, he has the Sting Lancer hand, but that does not interact with the Oviraptor. He also managed to burn his opponent for 200 during his turn with the Pin the Bullseye. Remember playing that little engine in Speedroid a long time ago. Always a little bit of a throwback every time I get to see the Battle Wasp engine used in this Beetrooper deck. So we'll see what he's going to go ahead and search here off of the Oviraptor. Looks like he's going to go for Pankratops. So this actually still is live, since his opponent does control more monsters than he does. Won't be able to contest with the Invincible Atlas, but I guess can run over the Sting Lancer, I guess. Maybe doesn't want to send anything to the graveyard in fear of it being shuffled back in because of the Sting Lancer that is known to be in hand. Speaking of Speedroid too, there is a Heart of the Underdog tournament my locals will be hosting, I think in early December. I will be recording feature matches for that, because, you know, depending on how the ban list goes and everything, we'll probably still be deep in Tier Lament to Shizu format, and I think it'll be a nice break for everybody watching and for, you know, everybody playing in our locals to kind of play something different, something fun they've been wanting to play for a little while, but really couldn't play it in the current competitive climate. So very excited for that, and I might be playing Speedroids. In fact, I probably will be playing Speedroids, and I have a bit of an interesting build to share. There will be a profile coming soon of that. A couple decks I want to update based on, you know, new cards being available. Things like Earth Machine, Marincess will be getting updated as well. Speedroid, I will be uploading a Rika profile, kind of one last profile for a little while. I wish I could like play every deck at every locals I went to. Like, if there's some way where I could play each deck each round, like one deck per round, that'd be kind of fun to do that, but 1 week at a time. But I guess that's what Dueling Book is for. But either way, we're going to see him link off, finally, the Oviraptor and the Pankratops into another card I haven't seen in quite some time. That is Pentastag. Had to look it up. I could not remember its name to save my life, and it was bothering me. I was like, it looks so familiar. I just couldn't think of a name. But we're going to see him go for the Pentastag, summon out UCT by banishing the Pankratops and the Oviraptor. He'll activate UCT's effect by destroying the Coatlas. That will go ahead and trigger its effect. Go ahead and search double evolution pill. And then we're going to see him go battle phase, and the Pentastag is pointing to the UCT, which will allow it to do piercing damage. So it will take 3,000, 1,500 damage through each of the Sting Lancers, and another 500 over the Invincible Atlas, and then 1,600 direct from the Pentastag. So decent amount of damage there. And we'll see him pass turn afterwards. So looks like the only known interruption here that our Beetrooper player is going to have to deal with is just one big Book of Eclipse. Just how do we force that out before we make any meaningful plays? We know he has the formation in hand, which is essentially just a Monster Reborn. And I know the Armor Horn in the graveyard is also a bit of follow-up as well. And it looks like he will go ahead and start with that by banishing 3 Resonant Insects, being one of them. And if it's banished, he can send an insect monster from the deck to the grave. And we'll see him send Gokipole. And then Gokipole will activate its effect to add a level 4 or lower insect monster from the deck to the hand. And he has Killer Needle in hand, so he will not be able to get rid of the UCT with that pop effect, but because the vanilla is out of the deck. So he's just going to commit 2 other bodies to the field here, and that is going to be enough to force out the UCT. But luckily, as I say, luckily formation in hand might be enough to help keep playing, but it looks like it's not. That means death next turn if that UCT lives, and it looks like it was going to. So we're on to a Game 2 situation. UCT just still being a crazy card as it stands. Shout out to Imperium Duelist, guys. Check them out at the link below. And please do not forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel. We're going to see Dinos go first here in Game 2. Setting 2 and passing. They were probably expecting to go second, so definitely not expecting to be made to go first here. And it looks like our Beetrooper players open up Retort Fusion, Gokipole, Resonance Insect, and he's going to go for the Quaggar Hercules, I think it is. I love Ready Fusion. So he's going to link off the Resonance and the Hercules into Armor Horn. And Resonance Insect will trigger since it was sent to the graveyard to add a level 5 or higher insect. You're going to go for another copy of the Sting Lancer. It looks like Gokipole in hand as well, so he's going to go ahead and not normal summon the Gokipole, but activate Armor Horn's effect to gain the additional normal first. That's going to eat an impermanence, and confirming the column of the impermanence before the Beetrooper Descent is activated. Go ahead and special summon out a Beetrooper token, and then summon out Scale Bomber alongside of it. If an insect monster is normal or special summon to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So he's going to go ahead and link off. Not quite link off just yet. Say probably a Pico Philenia play could be in line here, although I'm not entirely sure. Don't claim to know how the combos in this deck work. He's going to go for Nightmare Phoenix. And it is a droplet. So it'll go ahead and negate the Nightmare Phoenix, cutting him off from the draw. And we're going to go ahead and see the Gokipole activate when it hits the graveyard to go ahead and bring out a copy of Killer Needle. So he gets to special summon it since it was a vanilla monster. Kind of act as a nice extender here. It looks like he's just going to go... I mean, the battle phase is available here. Not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, but it looks like he is going to commit the Sting Lancer, putting one back from both grave, Giant Rex being one of them. It's a decent card to put back here. And then we'll trigger the effect of Sting Lancer on summon to go ahead and search out a copy of Formation. Kind of cool to see if we could get an OTK here, but I don't know if that'll be possible. I'm going to see him link off, though, the Armor Horn and the Killer Needle into Picophalania. Activate that effect, discarding another Scale Bomber in hand to go ahead and equip to it. Leads to another insect. It's going to be Resonance Insect, of course. And then Armor Horn Graveyard Effect, banishing Killer Needle, Scale Bomber. Or no, not Armor Horn here, using the other effect of Picoflania to recycle 3 and draw. Killer Needle being one of them, importantly, for the Goki Pole engine. And I wasn't aware that Picoflenia could use both of its effects in one turn like that. Yeah, you can. Okay. Good to know. So now we're going to see him link off the Picoflenia and the Nightmare Phoenix into Access Code. Access Code will target a Link 2 in the graveyard, boosting up to 4,300. So maybe looks like he's going to commit to the OTK line here, activate Formation, bring back the Armor Horn. He'll take damage equal to its attack. There's Pin the Bullseye, burn for 200, Link 3 into the Paraffin. And yeah, that is actually just going to be an outright OTK via Access Code. And we're into a Game 3 situation. Just like that. And looks like Beetroopers will be going first here. Also a reminder, guys, check out my TCG player affiliate link down in the description below. You'll find it in the description of all my videos anytime you guys use it. A small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel and helps out a ton. So we're going to see him start with Sting the Poison, searching out Arbalest, then special Pin the Bullseye, burning for 200, Link 2 into Armor Horn, and Armor Horn effect to gain additional normal. It's going to be for Arbalest. Arbalest brings back Pin, free Link 2 into Picoflania, discarding Goki Pole. Then on a new, well, on that same chain, on the summon of Picoflania, we'll see him activate Scale Bomber and equip a copy of Resonance Insect. That's one thing I like about this Beetrooper deck is like it's gotten so many like crazy extenders. There's just like so many good extenders for this deck. It seems like it's a lot of fun. Deck that you maybe necessarily don't play a lot of hand traps in or can't afford to really play a lot of hand traps in. Has like built-in hand traps, kind of like Retaliating Sea, which is kind of cool. And just has extenders for days, which is always nice to see. So we're going to see him recycle 3 and draw 1, and then link off both Picoflania and the Armor Horn into the Invincible Atlas. That'll trigger the effect of the Resonance. Go ahead and search out the Sting Lancer, and then tribute off the Scale Bomber, summon out another Sting Lancer. Then Sting Lancer effect, go ahead and search for a Beetrooper spell or trap. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Beetrooper formation. So it looks like he's trying to end on the exact same board that he ended on the previous turn. Oh, actually, game 1 rather. He also has Retaliating Sea in hand, DD Crow, and Sting Lancer. So just a couple of interruptions here, not terrible. And I know this particular player was playing Zelantis in his deck. I'm not sure what the synergy is with Zelantis in here. If there's a way you can like insect lock your opponent or yourself. Something along the lines of that, so the monsters don't return. I don't know what the synergy is. All I know is that he was playing Zelantis that day. By the way, we're going to see our Dino player start by activating a copy of Lost World. A very, very good field spell, even by today's standards. We're going to see a normal summon Giant Rex that'll trigger the Lost World and the best token in the world. There it is. Special summon to the opponent's field. Staring him down. We'll see what the move from here is going to be. Of course, battle phase is always an option. But it looks like we're going to see a Gamma Seal, of all things, go over top of the Invincible Atlas. Gotta love the Kaijus, right? Dogoran is a dinosaur after all, especially when Kumongus. Battle phase, attack over the Sting Lancer, and Giant Rex attack into the token, protected by Lost World, sending Baby Ceresaurus, well, destroying it from the deck rather. And that will go ahead and summon out Oviraptor. Oviraptor effect, all happening in the damage step, by the way. No Ash Blossom for you. And we're going to see the Oviraptor safely grab Miscellaneousaurus. And Kumongus attacking over the Gamma Seal. Conveniently putting a Dino and a non-Dino in the graveyard. The DD Crow and the Sting Lancer in hand, though, could come in very clutch here to clear out the opponent's graveyard, preventing a double evolution pill here in main phase 2 or any hard-drawn UCTs. And I think there might be a ruling question about Oviraptor's other effect. which can, I think, pop a Dino on field to summon a level 4 out of the grave. So it looks like he'll use the Sting Lancer here to put back the Baby Ceratosaurus to the bottom of the opponent's deck. And go ahead and search out follow-up in the form of Formation. Still has a rank 4 play available here, though. Don't know how valuable it would be, though. Still have to worry about Flying Sting, though, being in the back line. And, of course, each player getting some information from their teammates in the center of the table. He'll go for Tornado Dragon, activating its effect. That's just going to go ahead and eat a negate from the formation. Activate Miscellaneous Saurus. That's going to get DD Crowed, and then special summon out UCT. There it is. Always hard drawn. Banishing Giant Rex as one of those cards. It'll bring itself back, though, but the battle phase has been exhausted here. So this is very good for our Beetrooper player anyways, but still going to have to worry about the massive Book of Eclipse this turn. It looks like no follow-up, though, as it stands for our Dino player right now, since Miscellaneous Saurus is banished. Basically working with just top decks and hoping that the token can at least survive the turn, giving him some kind of play next turn. But depending on the deck, the token from Lost World can be kind of a pain, but luckily generic links make that a non-factor. So we're going to see him go for the Nightmare Phoenix, discarding Retaliating Seed. That's going to clear the Lost World. I personally probably would have went after the back row there. I think that's maybe a little bit more valuable. But he does have Armor Horn and Grave. That's always going to be a clutch card to have to start things off. Nice little bit of graveyard follow-up. Banishing Resonance Insect as one of the cards. That's going to go ahead and dump Goki Pole, and then activate Goki Pole effect to go ahead and add a level 4 or lower insect. And then if it's a normal, if we can get special summoned to the field and then destroy a monster on the field with attack greater than or equal to that special summon monster's attack. So it looks like he'll go ahead and summon out Killer Needle, and that's going to go ahead and pop the UCT. So clearing what is probably one of the bigger threats on the field right now, but still has to kind of worry about this back row here. Although I guarantee, he could have technically cleared it with the Nightmare Phoenix earlier, but again, opting to leave the Lost World, or, well, choose the Lost World as the target for Phoenix, which, I mean, I get why. The 500 attack loss on all monsters that are non-dinosaurs can kind of be impactful if you're trying to close out the game here. We're going to see him go for the Seraphim Papillon, and then on summon, we're going to see him activate Scale Bomber. This card is linked summon. You can place one counter on this card for each insect monster used as its link material, so we'll get 2 counters on it. And then you can go ahead and summon the Scale Bomber, and then we're going to see him link off the Scale Bomber and the Seraphim into Access Code Talker. And on summon, we'll activate its effect, targeting the Papillon in the graveyard. And it looks like on resolution, a teammate reminding him to go ahead and use that Infinite Impermanence here before it's too late. Of course, because once the Access Code activates its effects, you can't respond. So we're going to see him tag that out into the World Sea Dragon Zelantis. And I'll be the first to admit, I really couldn't see the synergy, but now it's finally coming to me now that I've just reread Zelantis. And the effect to banish all monsters is not on summon. For some reason, I thought it was on summon. So I've completely misunderstood this card ever since I first read it, honestly. So I get it now. Now the point is to insect lock yourself and then use the effect. I could have swore it was on summon. I feel so stupid now, and I apologize. We're going to see him activate the Beetrooper formation. That's going to go ahead and bring back Sting Lancer. He'll take 2,400 damage, and then Sting Lancer effect on summon to go ahead and search out a copy of Beetrooper Descent. Now, unfortunately here for our Beetrooper player, though, Kumungus is an insect. So when Zelantis resolves, if he decides to resolve it this turn, which I imagine he will, that will still get special summoned back because that is an insect. And I'm not sure if Beetrooper formation locks you. I don't think it does. I know Beetrooper's Descent certainly doesn't lock you either. So we're going to see him normal summon Sting. That's going to search Pin, and then linking off Sting Lancer and Descent for Picoflania. Picoflania effect, discarding a copy of Pin the Bullseye. And we'll see what he's going to go ahead and opt to send here. Looks like it's going to be maybe looking at a Retaliating Sea. Could go for a Resonance Insect. But he is going to go ahead and equip. I was going to say, Doom Dozer doesn't look like it's the right card to equip here. He's going to go ahead and equip a copy of Resonance Insect. And then Picoflania effect to go ahead and recycle 3 and draw 1. Looks like that will resolve here too. I mean, our Dino player really doesn't have any responses now at this point. I think all interruptions have been used and are known at this point. We're going to see him link for another Papillon. And then he's going to get the effect of Resonance Insect in the graveyard to go ahead and search out Doom Dozer. Doom Dozer effect will banish the Resonance Insect and the Goki Pole, special summoning itself to the field. And then he'll activate the graveyard effect of Resonance Insect again. That's going to go ahead and dump a copy of Scout Buggy to the graveyard. And then he's going to use the Atlantis effect to now, well, not using its banish effect, but using the effect in the battle phase to destroy 2 monsters. And then he'll swing in for 25, 21, and I believe 2,800 from the Doom Dozer, leaving his opponent at 400. So really not even needing the banish effect there of Zelantis, but rather the battle phase effect to destroy monsters, or I think it's cards. You can destroy cards in the field up to the number of co-linked monsters, so it's any cards and it does not target either. And it's a battle phase quick effect as well, and that will be live here since the Invincible Atlas is pointing to it, but our Dino player is going to draw for turn and concede, realizing there is not much he can do given the current state. So we're going to see Beetrooper take that one 2-1. And last but not least, a big thank you goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Pony Star, Cadillacs84, Justino, and HGH Cyber. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for your extremely kind and continued support of the channel.